No, I'm talking about a rusty how-to. Rusty how-to.
How you do, cousins? Gene Peach for Rusty How-To. I wanted to take a minute here and share with you guys a little bit more about this this lot here of wartime correspondence that I picked up at an estate sale. It was an online estate sale auction. I've done that a few times, bought a few duds here and there, but I wasn't quite sure what I was getting into, but pleasantly surprised once I got back to the warehouse. I've got, this is 120 letters, over 120 letters, going about 1951 to 1952, so that's the Korean War. It's between, actually two brothers, interestingly. There's a one brother, mainly, one son, I should say, one soldier, wrote most of the letters to his mom and dad. There is another brother, or another son in there, he's written some letters to mom and dad. He's also written some letters the two brothers are writing back and forth. And what's interesting is that the two brothers were stationed real close to one another, several years apart, age-wise. I think the older one was around 25 years old at the time, and couldn't grasp how old the younger one was. You know, I haven't read all the letters, but a good amount. And but they were stationed out of Jacksonville, Florida, and they were in the Navy. And one, I think, worked on planes. Actually, I think they both worked on planes because they talked a lot about their hangars and working right next to one another. Very interesting stories. You know, really, there wasn't a whole lot of action in the letters, and part of me wonders, it's probably maybe they were coached by their commanders not to put a whole lot of those kinds of details in their letters to mom and dad or whomever back home, just to keep everybody's spirits up, and also they didn't want to give away too much, give away their position or any information that could benefit the enemy. But very interesting stuff here. I'm not sure how I'm going to price it. Like I said in the short video of this version of this video, you know, eBay, they've got individual letters going for, you know, $3 to $5, and then lots can get pretty high. I think I've seen one sell for about $185. It was a smaller lot than this. But gang, when you're out shopping, when you're out sourcing, I should say, look for this stuff. Look for these. This is the dead giveaway. This first off, the airmail, right, and this red, white, and blue edging. That's a dead giveaway. That's wartime correspondence there. But there's a couple things to keep in mind. These letters, this is just like collecting postcards. There's these paper goods, and you can watch some of our other videos on tips to look for when you're sourcing and looking for postcards, and even stamps too, and matchbooks. But there's a few things that would make these letters valuable, and that could be right off the bat. I mean, just on the front here, it could be the date, it could be the cancellation, it could be the stamp. You know, if it's you know, coming from a place that is, you could tell it's overseas, it's in the heat of the battle. I mean, that's gonna might make it a little more valuable. All of these are pretty much just coming out of Jacksonville, Florida. Let's see, sometimes it's the content itself, what's in the letter. It could be the soldier. It could be, you know, the author. If it's an officer, it could be, you know, where they were stationed, what branch in the military, the time period, if it's right around a specific war. Some wars are a little more valuable, if you will, than others. As I said earlier, this was the Korean War, and so I don't know if you are familiar with the Korean War, but it's not a well-covered war, and it wasn't covered much at the time either, and it's called the Forgotten War, actually. And if you don't know much about it, it's kind of the real start of the Cold War, and our war against communism. So just kind of knowing that it's not a popular war, I'm not sure how well these will sell, but we're going to go for it. When I bought it, I didn't know that it was from the Korean War. I just saw I was thinking maybe Vietnam, but anyway. So yeah, we look for the time period, look for the date it was written, and the specific date of the letter. Was it written on or around a major, well-known event from that war? All those are all things that can make that letter, valuable. So, what's interesting about these letters is the story, the content. It's very interesting, but there's some good stuff. I mean, the boys were out on an aircraft carrier at times. They'd go out for 6 months at a time on these cruises. One was stationed on the USS Tarawa, and they, hearing their accounts about the squadron next door to them, if you will. They're kind of a goofy squadron, kind of crazy guys, but telling stories about how they were trying too hard. And one time their plane was belly up in the water because they were trying too hard, and they had to haul it out of the water back up to the aircraft carrier. And one of the guys in the squadron lost 4 fingers just from making some careless mistakes. So anyway, okay, so here's a few more things. So here's a stamp. I pulled these out because for a couple of reasons. These stamps, I don't know, I'm trying to do some research on these stamps this is kind of between the 30s and 50s. Might be valuable in and of itself, especially this is a George Washington. There's a Thomas Jefferson stamp. But pulled those aside to show you that. And also, what's also interesting in this is in the cancellation. You can just see right here. I don't know if you can read that. It says, "Hire the handicapped. It's good business." Now, that's really interesting. This is 1951. So this is pre-civil rights era, leading up to the civil rights era. And they also leading up to the Disability Rights Act. So this is kind of the start of the sheltered workshops and really pushing employers to hire individuals with disabilities. It's an interesting campaign there. And what really kicked it off was veterans. So 1951, this is, a lot of veterans coming, a lot of soldiers coming back from World War II that were injured and disabled but could still work. And so there's a big push to hire veterans, disabled veterans. And so anyway, showing up there. Another interesting, let's see, that's handicap. Cancellation. Oh, look at this one. Remember, only you can prevent forest fires. We've seen that one a lot. And I just saw this one right before I hit record. Give enough through your community chest. All right, a few other letters I pulled out I just wanted to show you, and we'll wrap up the video. Some in these envelopes, you never know what you're going to find. You might find some really neat goodies that people will find collectible. But look at this. Some of those stationery, the letterhead is really cool too. There you go. You can see it's United States Navy. And it's just got this gold embossed emblem there. It's really neat. What do we got here? Oh, he's got his address there. That one's really neat. Here's another one with a different letterhead. Look at that. I don't know if you can see that. It's really cool. Kind of that gold embossing. Sometimes, here's another one. It's just kind of plain. It just says United States Navy. In that same envelope, it had some pictures. Look at that. Isn't that neat? Not the best pictures. And he actually said so in the letter that he had to borrow some guy's camera. He said it was a really small little pocket-sized camera. Didn't take the best photos. But I guess he just wanted mom and dad to see the plane that he was working on. That was his plane. And then here is, look at that. That's stationery from when he was on the USS Tarawa. That's really neat. But also within this this lot, you could see basically what he was charged to make calls to mom and dad. Now, There's like a little code sheet on the back. Like if it indicates if it's a collect message or if it's a telegram. And you can see all the calls he made collect, and had their charges here. And these are the dates that he made those calls. And here's down the totals down here. And it's pretty wild. Look at this. I don't know if you guys can see that, but down there, computation of taxes. U.S. tax on toll calls under 25 cents. Tax at 15%. Look at this one right here. U.S. tax on all other taxable messages at 25%. So for the month of July, he made 5 calls. $11.82. Tax was almost $3. And he had to pay almost $15. Now look at this one. In May, he made 5 phone calls. Total carried the bill $24.31. Now keep in mind, this is 1951. 1951. If you got on, did a little calculator, did a present value calculation of what $24.31 would be equal to in today's dollars, that's almost $300. $300 that he spent calling his mom and dad, and just for the month of May, and then he spent, look at that, I don't know, $200 in July, and then we've got in April, $150 in October. Spent, oh my goodness. Anyway, that's a really neat little item there. Let's see. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to share with you guys. I hope you like. There's so many really cool stories in here. And it's very interesting to see and read what life was like for them at the barracks and on the aircraft carrier, and what they were concerned about. About every few letters, he was writing home and asking mom to go buy a certain album that he really wanted. And he was always talking to dad about a certain kind of car that he wanted as soon as he got home. And he was always asking for money, but he was trying not to spend too much money, because he was trying to save up for that car. And he was also, talking about the movies that they were going to go watch. So, really neat. I tell you what's really great about this lot, and then I'll finish up, fellas. What's really great about this lot is how complete it is. He was writing about either every day or every 2 or 3 days, and they are just about all here. There's a lot here, and the mom or whomever numbered them, and so I could put them in order, and or anybody could put them in order, and easily, and just read through the story. And it's a really neat story, very great piece here. So I know somebody's going to be really happy with this. So anywho, if you like that video, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. We put out videos each and every week, and we have a whole slew of videos on vintage and antique collectible items, what to look for, and what's collectible. So make sure you check those out. And thanks for watching, cousins. Take care.
Rusty, 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 how to? 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 Doodle-doodle-doodle. Rusty, 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 how to? Rusty, 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 how to? Doodle-doodle-doodle. Rusty, 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 how to? Doodle-doodle-doodle.